one. Scraps, open till 3 a.m.
That's a disco.
So?
So your finger was quite happily meandering down bistros and wine bars. What is it now doing, thundering through the dancing round handbag section?
Come on, Sheila, it's Friday. I fancy a bop. Get out there and shake it about a bit. While I've still got some stuff I can shake without bits of it dropping off.
As your doctor, I feel bound to remind you that bits of it are due to start dropping off any day now. And I'm not following you round a dance floor with a dustpan and brush. Anyway, they don't bop anymore. They do things a woman your age couldn't manage at zero gravity.
I happen to be a very nice mover, thank you.
No.
There'll be hordes of blokes there in cycling shorts.
Choice!
Oh, I'm not thinking about me, I'm thinking about you.
I don't like that sort of thing. I never know where to look.
I'll point.
No, Joyce. Friday's always been our night out, and up to now we've always gone to a wine bar and we've always had a good time. No cycling shorts, après-ski wellies, aqualungs, flippers or parachutes.
Well, I'm just getting fed up with the people who go to those places. They're all fax machine salesmen and computer programmers. Every time a phone rings, half a dozen of them reach for their briefcases.
That's not the point. Look, I'm on my feet all week, and when Friday comes round, I like to sit back and relax, even if my firm's on duty.
Well, I'll dance. You bring some knitting. Wine bars.
Thank you. Incidentally, what are you wearing tonight?
Fishnet.
Oh, well, clash.
Out.
Build him off to orthopaedics, squealing like a baby.
Doesn't surprise me, old boy.
Don't you get fed up with it, Neil?
Fed up?
Well, you know. I mean, somebody falls downstairs, ruptures something, they come in, we fix it. Fine, that's what we're here for. But then you get some great lout stalks into casualty with 4 broken fingers because the other great lout he flattened happened to be wearing sunglasses, and there we are, still smiling, still saying, don't worry, everything's okay.
Yes, what you mean is, why can't we just kick the gormless Wally out and leave his digits at right angles to one?
Yeah, something like that.
But of course, one could say it's a question of not making moral judgments.
Oh, absolutely.
But I think the real reason is he might then clobber one of us with his good hand.
My dear chap, anyone meddles with me and they get quite a surprise, I can tell you.
Right.
Yes, quite.
Why? What happened?
I don't want to boast, but I'm rather useful in the old fist department. Used to box for medical college, as a matter of fact.
Box for medical college?
Yeah, some years back. I want to stop to it, of course. Seem to think it undignified half the students doing ward rounds wearing neck braces.
George, the type I'm talking about doesn't bother about the Queensberry rules. While you're bobbing and weaving, he's booting your voice up an octave.
Well, personally, I see a patient as a patient, and that's that. One simply patches him up and sends him on his way.
Yeah, to clobber someone else.
Well, unfortunately, yes. Of course, if he does come back for an appendix, one has to fight off the urge to leave a few swabs inside.
Yeah, or a couple of breeze blocks.
If you don't mind, sister, I'd like to swap these 2 patients round.
Right, so we're doing the breast biopsy on Mr. Amos and the vasectomy on Mrs. Pierce.
Sister, even as a joke, don't ever say that to a surgeon.
Sorry. Anything else?
No, I don't think so.
Sheila, good news.
Oh?
Oh, I think I'll have to leave now. I hope that won't cause any inconvenience.
Well?
Listen, I had a pork pie with George in the pub at lunchtime.
Oh.
And in the lounge bar, they've got this table covered with leaflets and handouts. I think they've got some fringe theatre upstairs. Well, I started raking through, and in among the other stuff, you know, some bloke doing Hamlet on his own, and a couple of musicals about coal miners, I found this, La Terra Trema, by Luchino Visconti at the Grove Cinema.
That's wonderful.
I know. Well, kind of. I mean, it sounds like a load of old rubbish to me, but I'll sit through it if you will.
Jonathan, La Terra Trema is the greatest film in the entire...
I know. You've been boring me silly with it for months.
No, it's a classic. I mean, a quantum leap in the history of cinema.
Anyway.
What?
What does it mean? La Terra Trema.
Well, it means the earth and... wobbles.
Wobbles?
Well, you know, vibrates. The earth vibrates or something.
Sheila, do you know any Italian?
Not a lot, no.
My God!
Well, what's so funny? Why should I?
I thought Ramo was Italian.
Jonathan, I was only married to him. We never spoke. Anyway, it's got subtitles, plus I've seen it before.
Well, I haven't.
Oh, let me tell you, you're going to love it.
What happens?
Well, it's about a fish market. Well, that's not the whole story, obviously. I mean, all kinds of things happen.
Like what?
Well, all kinds of things.
Yes, but like what? One of the cods strangles someone?
It's about the people who work there and the constant struggle against the grinding poverty of the region.
Oh. So it's a real old romp then.
Yes.
So he'll come.
Of course I'll come. How about Sunday?
Sunday?
Well, is that a problem?
Sheila? This isn't Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles. This is a minority interest film. Half the people in it probably haven't seen it.
So what are you trying to say?
Friday, for one night.
Oh, no, I can't go tonight. Friday's my night out with Joyce.
Well, can't you two go out some other night? Joyce won't mind.
No, Joyce can't. Her husband's a school teacher, and every Friday they have this staff meeting in a pub. It's the only night he comes home in too much of a state to notice what kind of a state she's come home in.
I don't suppose Joyce might.
No, not unless one of the sardine gutters was wearing cycling shorts. I'm sorry.
No. It's all right. It's only a film.
So, what will you do? Go and see it on your own?
Oh, doubtful. Expect I'll just stay in, watch the box.
Oh, don't be ridiculous. Jonathan, it's Friday. Get out and enjoy yourself. Bring a few friends.
Yeah.
But I really am sorry.
No.
I feel absolutely terrible.
Are you having the fettuccine?
I mean, it never occurred to me before, but I'm possibly the only real friend Jonathan's got. Apart from Neil and Hope Wynne. Let's face it, they are to intelligent conversation what Pavarotti is to synchronised swimming.
Because if you're having the fettuccine, I'll have something else. That way, if you don't like what you get or I don't like what I get, we can swap.
If you'd seen the look of disappointment on his face.
Unless they're both rubbish. In which case, we'll disembowel the waiter and get the chef in a half Nelson over the sweet trough. Well, I wish you'd talk about something else. All week, I live on shredded carrot and water biscuits. And right this minute, I'd like to get head down over some serious fat. All I've had so far is a steady diet of Jonathan.
Just feeling guilty, that's all. I mean, he doesn't let it show, but I think Jonathan's actually quite lonely. Do you know what he said? I expect I'll just stay in and watch the box. And there's me saying, no, go out and enjoy yourself. I mean, how can he? Who will?
Free! Well, come on then, let's go.
What on earth? Did you order these? Hello, excuse me.
Something wrong?
No, I'm sure it's marvellous. But if you could just trim the shrubbery before I poke an eye out trying to drink it. Oh, and one more thing. You're a slave to your senses, Joyce Watson.
Oh.
What's the matter?
Well, don't look now, but there's someone to your left giving you the eye.
Where?
Sheila.
Oh, he's drunk.
How do you know?
Because he's only giving me one eye, the other is spinning around like it's following his socks in a tumble. How can anyone afford to get into that state? There isn't a drink in this place that costs less than a week in Acapulco.
Should we sit down? Right. What do you want to drink?
Vodka tonic?
Right.
I mean, what is the point of that? Knocking it back pint after pint. You know very well some poor minicab driver's going to be mopping it up for weeks. Jonathan!
Oh, hello.
So you dragged yourself out after all.
Yes.
Well, how did you know we were here?
Well, actually, I didn't really. I came with a friend.
Oh, where is he?
He's over there. His name's Caroline. Well, I said bring a few friends. So I...
Jonathan, really, there's no need to explain.
Yes, there is. She's just a casual acquaintance, that's all. I don't want anybody getting the wrong idea.
Of course not. You are simply out with a lady friend.
She is not a lady friend.
All right, you're simply out with a transvestite.
Look, why don't we join you?
Well, you could try. As a matter of fact, we're just leaving.
Leaving?
One lasagna and one fettuccine.
Ah, yes. I wonder, could you wrap them? Take away.
I see. Well, I'll leave you to it.
Yes.
Sheila, that was a bit rough. You could have let him explain.
Joyce, there is nothing to explain. It's Friday night. Jonathan is out having fun. We are out having fun.
That's what I like to hear.
Have you got problems?
No, not really. Why?
Well, you've been gone 10 minutes, forgotten the drinks, and brought my coat back.
Oh, sorry. I met some friends.
Yes, I noticed. And if you ask me, I think they might be needing you soon.
No!
Oh, come on, girls, I'm buying.
Look, why aren't you being sick in a gutter like any normal drunk?
You two all right?
Jonathan, I'm handling it.
I just wish he'd go away.
Look, why don't you move further down the bar?
Why?
Well,
Jonathan, just leave him.
I can't leave him.
I'm sorry. Is this gentleman bothering you?
No, you're bothering these two ladies. Now, why don't you...
Watch it, pal. I hope you know what you're starting.
Starting? I'm not starting anything. I'm just saying...
All right, I get the picture.
Oh, well done.
The way I heard it, Haslam threw a left, the man went reeling over the bar.
Yes, you heard that from?
Someone in radiology, I think.
Yes, I shouldn't go listening to idle gossip if I were you, George.
No.
No. Now, the way I heard it from one of the kitchen staff who tends to know about these things, Jonathan threw a right.
The way I heard it, Jonathan didn't hit anyone.
Did he? The chap's lying along that corridor in a coma.
Well, hardly a coma.
Oh, that's what I heard.
No. I peeked round his room this morning. The chap was sitting up in bed.
Excuse me, Mr.
reading a book.
Conklin. Thanks.
Well, the fact remains, there's a fellow lying in a bed in this hospital, injured.
Well, Joyce told me he was trying to hit Jonathan, fell over, and knocked himself out.
Well, of course. She would.
Would what?
My dear chap, it's a cover-up to take the blame off Jonathan Haslam.
Someone's got to blur the facts so that no one knows what really happened. I mean, if one wants to know the truth, there's hardly much point in asking someone who was there.
I should have thought that was obvious.
Strange, though. One of our number getting involved in fisticuffs like that. I mean, one always hopes a doctor can handle his drink.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, there were you and I last night, happily smashed out of our minds at your golf club. Not the slightest hint of trouble. I can say categorically, we offended no one.
Grace, darling, it's George. Yes, well, I had hoped you might have cooled down slightly. Well, yes, I did notice you seemed a shade snappy at breakfast, yes. My good woman, I did not come home in a state. If one has a front porch bristling with pot plants, it stands to reason that sooner or later someone's going to fall over them. Well, surely a man's entitled to some enjoyment in life. Yes, I do consider myself a man. Oh, I see. I'm sorry if you feel that. Then there's nothing more to be said. Hello? Grace?
Sheila! Any news?
Yes, the Titanic sank, apparently. I'll keep you informed.
No, come on, you know what I mean. Have you seen it?
Yes, I've seen him. He's my patient.
Oh.
Would you believe it? Of all the beds in all the hospitals in all the world, and they had to sling him into one of mine.
How is he?
Oh, he's fine. Giles kept him in over the weekend for observation. Have you apologised?
To who?
To him.
For what?
Jonathan! You know the first rule with drunks, you have to be tactful. You were too aggressive.
I was aggressive.
I told you to leave him alone if you hadn't waded in.
I did not wade in. I asked him to move politely, and he tried to kill me. From that point onwards, I was mostly trying to wade out.
Well, if you kept calm, you would not be lying in that bed now.
No, I'd be lying in it.
Well, I'm sorry, Jonathan. If you don't apologise,
Sheila.
I'll never speak to you again.
I see. And how are we going to communicate in theatre? Can you a pigeon?
Quite possibly, or I might just wrap a note round a javelin.
Joyce, what's the matter with Sheila?
You don't know? You turn up at that wine bar with some gorgeous woman who looked terrific in a bin line, and you're asking me what's up with Sheila. She's jealous.
Jealous?
John. Are you or are you not going out with Sheila?
What does Sheila say?
She'd rather dangle naked from the telecom tower. Singing, I've got a lovely bunch of coconuts.
Oh, well, that clears up any doubt, doesn't it?
Don't be daft, of course you're going out with her. And if you take my advice, you'll go out there right now and apologise.
To who?
Sheila.
Joyce, can I write all this down? You're telling me to apologise to Sheila. Sheila's telling me to apologise to that nutter.
Who?
That drunk. Genghis Khan up the corridor.
What for?
Well, apparently because I antagonised him by trying to run away.
Oh, I see. Oh, we'll do that then.
What?
No, if it makes Sheila happy.
Joyce!
Oh, it's just a few words. You don't have to mean it.
Well, if it's a few words, he won't miss them, will he?
Jonathan, you've got two alternatives. Either you apologise to him, or you explain to Sheila about Caroline.
Fine, I'll do that.
How?
I'll tell her the truth. That Caroline is an old friend, that her husband was away on business, and she was bored, so I took her out. What can be more harmless than that? Well, perhaps it's not that harmless. Maybe I could word it a bit... Look, Joyce, Sheila knows all about Caroline. I showed her a photograph of her a few weeks back and explained the whole thing. That Caroline and I used to be, you know. And then she got married, so now we're just good. So I just thought I'd come round and apologise. I'm not saying it's my fault. I'm not saying it's your fault.
I was drunk, it must have been my fault.
Don't you remember?
I've got a vivid picture of the pattern on the ceiling, apart from that everything's a blank.
Well, you were annoying some lady friends of mine. I stepped in, there was a bit of argy-bargy.
You clobbered me and here I am.
Well, I wouldn't say clobbered exactly.
Now, don't be embarrassed, only a real wimp wouldn't have hit me.
Right.
So I'm the one who's apologising, not you. I feel rotten about the whole thing.
Yeah. Well,
on the other hand, I am in this bed because of you. So if you are feeling guilty, you could do me a favour.
What?
Well, look, sit down a minute. Are you married? Girlfriend? Boyfriend? Well, a dog. Cat. Well, bonsai plant. Everyone's got something.
I am quite friends with someone.
Yeah? Nice.
Well, you seemed to think so when you were trying to chat her up.
Well, you can tell her that I'm suffering for it in this place. That ruddy woman looking after me has been telling the nurses to stick needles in my Jackson like I'm some kind of dressmaker's dummy.
Yeah, well, actually, that's her.
Stone me.
I have not been giving him the works. After a great deal of difficulty locating his brain, we gave it a scan and what little there was seemed undamaged. But he keeps vomiting, so he's been getting antiemetic injections. And if he continues to throw up, I shall greatly relish letting him have a gastroscopy as well. Did you really go up there and apologise?
Yeah.
Because I asked you to.
Well, I might have been a bit rough on him. Some people seem to think I might have caught him a glancing blow, you know.
Jonathan, don't go all macho, it doesn't suit you. The only chance you had of landing a punch was when they were carrying him to the ambulance.
Actually, he's quite a nice bloke when he's sober. We got on quite well.
Huh?
It's funny that, isn't it?
What?
How you make wild assumptions about people and then find out you were totally wrong.
Yes, quite.
Still, we all do it, I suppose.
Yes.
Jump to all sorts of ludicrous conclusions simply because we can't be bothered to find out the true facts.
Jonathan, are you going to rattle on about this all day?
No, I'm just making a point, that's all. I mean, Take that bloke, for example. A couple of nights ago, I thought he was just a drink-sodden womanizer.
And what is he, private drunk to the court of St. James?
Like I said, he's actually a nice bloke. He's just got problems, that's all.
What kind of problems?
Well, basically, his wife gets back from France this afternoon and he can't think of a reasonable excuse for being in hospital. I mean, it's a bit much to hope she's not going to ask, isn't it?
He was in a brawl. That's why he's in hospital, because he was drunk and molesting innocent women.
And that's what you're going to say, is it?
Me?
Well, if she asks him, there's no problem. He's just worried what you're going to say.
Well, what does he expect me to say?
Well...
Fell down some stairs!
Sheila, I'm not suggesting it. That's what he said.
And this is the person you think is actually quite a nice bloke.
Yes, I do. I mean, I know he doesn't sound it or look it or even act it.
So what are you going on, smell?
He's just having a bad time, that's all. Look, he and his wife bought a second home in France a few months back. And she goes over there every weekend, but he can't because he's got to look after their video shop. So he's all alone.
Oh.
And he gets depressed. And when he gets depressed, he starts to drink. Finally, he gets drunk.
And falls downstairs.
Yes.
Well, next time, let's hope it's a lift shaft.
Sheila, all he wants to do is keep her happy.
So what's wrong with discharging a 12-bore shotgun up his nose?
Sheila!
No! Lie to his wife.
Absolutely outrageous.
It's awful, I know.
You going to?
What?
Well, I just wondered, I mean, if he gets this chap off the hook, sort of, never quite.
It's not like Dr. Haslam to suggest things like that.
That's what I thought. I mean, if a patient's wife can't expect the truth and nothing but the truth from a consultant surgeon, then who can she?
Mrs. Sabatini?
Yes.
I'm Nora Morris.
I'm sorry?
Mr. Morris's wife, the gentleman in for observation.
So, if she asks for a more detailed account, I told her you tripped on a fold in the carpet where the stair rod had come loose.
Right.
Do you know how much trouble you've caused us?
Yeah, I know. Which is why I got you this. We didn't have it in the shop, so I asked a mate to get it for me.
La terra trema.
Yeah, it's a bootleg, but you won't get nicked unless you flash it about too much. He said you liked it.
I do like it, thank you. I'll give it back to you tomorrow.
No, it's all right. It's a present. And my thanks. Mind you, I'll have to have the one I lent you back.
Oh, right.
The one he lent you?
Oh, yeah, he lent me another film.
What, by Visconti?
No, it was foreign. I can't remember the director.
Well, what was it called?
Similar to yours. Something about the Earth moving or something.
What?